crew we made. Ready now, turn the page. This is where we all engage. Engage. Let the journey begin.
Welcome to Engage
with Trekkie
and Trekker. This is the podcast that boldly explores the strange fans behind the fandom of Star Trek. And today, we've got another fun guest for you. Let's welcome Cristie Purple. Welcome to the show, Cristie.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'd love to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I've been a Trekkie since about 4. I started with the TOS and my dad.
Nice.
And just kept going from there. I'm a nerd, huge nerd. Love all things nerd. I live in Austin. I travel on the boat every year if I can. And I try to do the Star Trek Las Vegas in August. So I've probably seen y'all. And if I have and I didn't say hi, then hell with me. Screw that lady. I mean,
You've been doing Star Trek Las Vegas for a while?
just a couple years.
Okay.
Since I started going on the boat. So about every year since the last 5 years.
Nice.
Because it's right over my birthday. My birthday is the first couple weeks of August. So I'm like, oh, Vegas, here we go.
Yeah. Right.
Nice. So you get to kind of have 2 points of the year with Star Trek, like basically at halfway points.
I know, don't be jelly. It's okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was honestly just thinking of that, Cristie. I was like, that's the perfect way of being able to break it up and, you know.
That's why I went the first year to STLV, because I did the boat and I was like, OMG, like I missed my Star Trek people. Like I missed my Trek fam. And they were all like, we'll go to Vegas. We're going to Vegas. I'm like, how are y'all going to Vegas without me? So I booked it and I said, let's go. Let's do this. And so so now I go to Vegas and see everyone be like, ah.
I did the reverse. I went to Vegas first, and then once we went on the cruise, it was like, that's kind of where I want to go, but I'm not able to go twice a year. So
Right.
I got you my suitcase. I mean, I'm driving right by you. Just get in.
I probably could squeeze into a suitcase too.
Right.
You could just say I'm a Captain Picard costume.
Right. That's funny. Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you very much again for sharing on that, Cristie. So kind of, you answered really kind of our first question of how did you get started with Trek? Just out of curiosity, have you seen all of Trek?
I think so. I think the only thing I haven't finished is Picard. And that's kind of like, it's the last one and I don't want it to stop, you know? So I was, I don't want to finish it because then it's finished. But then they came out with the new one, and I just heard online that they secretly renewed it for a second season, the Academy.
Yep.
Academy. I don't know if it's true, but I just heard it a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, please let that be true. Please let that be true. Something about a petition, a fan petition for Paramount went through, and they were like, fine, and they gave in. But I don't know if that's true or not. So,
well, that would be
you guys would know more than I would about that.
Well, I know, well, just based on hearing like Gina Yesher, Laura Thok for anybody, when she was on the cruise this last year, I heard her talking about the fact that I think that they had that's why she wasn't on at the beginning of the cruise, because they were literally just finishing filming the second season. So, again,
they had already filmed it. They just didn't.
They didn't want to release it.
Right.
But that's what I heard, that the fan petition got legs, and Paramount relented and said, fine, we'll release it. So.
Well, it isn't really fair of any show to be canceled before it has a chance to really develop its people and its storylines. Like any fandom, any show.
Right.
And if you are going to, they should at least have a nice wrap up, because it's an intellectual property that company is going to own in perpetuity. So it's like, you may as well have a full story, because otherwise you have some half finished project where it's like, well, now 20 years from now, why would somebody want to watch it if it doesn't have an ending? Like,
Firefly.
Bingo, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, ended on a cliffhanger, and I was like, oh, how dare they? Because it just ended. And it was a good cliffhanger too. Oh well. Back to Star Trek. So you've been watching since TOS.
Yeah.
And you've watched all the shows, and I totally hear you on not wanting to finish. I do that on a lot of different things, even video games. Sometimes I start slowing my roll, and I'm like, nope,
Yes.
I don't want to finish it. So I get that. Who would you say your favorite character in all of Star Trek Dumb is?
I mean, honestly, it's probably the Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Because he spans so many series, and his message is so open and loving and accepting, and he's snarky, and I love it. I love the way he just makes that face that every mom makes when they're just, you can't say what you want to say, and he does that so well. And because he's on so many of the different seasons in the series, he's just like, it's kind of like R2 in Star Wars. R2's always there. R2, he's safe, he's comforting, he wants to help, he's doing everything he can, and he's that character for me. He's just, every time I see him, I just get all, oh,
nice.
There he is. It's just that little bit of home.
Nice.
I appreciate that. And at first, I mean, and I think that the writers actually put it, especially, that he was supposed to be snarky and he was supposed to be a little off-putting. I mean, if and then just the character arc with him, and I second that. I love Rob. Well, Robert Picardo's amazing just as an individual, and I remember seeing him back in Gremlins 2, where he's getting practically molested by the female gremlin. I will always remember him for that.
See, I didn't even put that together. And somebody, I think the second year I was on the boat, which was Cruise 6, somebody came out with the whole outfit for the female, and I was like, why is the she gremlin here? And my friend Brian was like, my travel buddy Brian, he goes because Gremlins too. And I was like, what? And then he showed me that he pulled this out, and I'm like, oh my god, that's Paul Picardo.
Right.
Didn't even dawn on me. But yeah. And they do other things other than Star Trek, but we only think of them in that world.
Yeah, like I said, I love Picardo. He's funny as all get out. And his voice, the fact that, the fact that he
sing like that.
Yes, I mean, and that, I know that actors themselves, a lot of them are, versatile in different, forms of art. But the fact that he really did never do any of that before, Voyager, and then that's not all he's known for, but I can't speak for you, but that's one of my absolute favorite things about the cruise is when he's had Arturo on there and they've been doing the opera. I'm not one.
You can see how excited he gets with the opera and Arturo and all, and that whole not Trek part of what he does. The art part of it, where he gets to just be himself in his favorite medium, which is apparently opera, and he just loves it, and that gets everyone else excited for it. So it's great. That's one thing I love about the boat too, is that the actors and people get to, like, a good example would be 2 years ago, Q, Bob Delancey was talking on the one stage, and that started with Trek and ended with, tell us about you, stuff kind of thing. And he's a huge sailor. And he has these stories about sailing on his little boat with his sons and stuff. And it was just like, just layers of people that you only get to see one layer of. And it's just, I love that. I love that we get to see that in them.
Yeah, I was actually part of that talk from him. And, I've never necessarily wanted to sail, but just the freedom and, he's a fascinating man as well.
The way he tells stories, he's such a good storyteller, and you can tell that he has a passion for sailing that nobody, just looking at him, nobody would know, because we all see him as Q. Right. We don't see him as him with his sons and his wife and his family. I love that. That's probably one of the best things about going on the boat, is that you get to really learn about these people that you've watched growing up your whole life, and you get to see other sides of them that you wouldn't get to see anywhere else.
Sure, absolutely. No, I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, and if you folks haven't been on the cruise, I recommend it highly.
Stay home.
Yeah, right.
It might already be booked, so
Yes,
you might
Sorry
not
yes,
get
about that.
absolutely.
whoops. Sorry to rub it in.
Yeah.
Like, whoops.
I know
So-
I had a friend of mine, I was telling them about it, and they're like, oh, I went to go look at tickets and it said it's sold out. And I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
maybe next year.
Well, I know I can't speak for you guys, but just being part of ECP, I'm getting the 80s cruise stuff, and they still have stuff available. And, it's 4 months or so after. And I've contemplated that cruise as well. That'd be fun to... Now, I'd be more interested. I'm sad they're not doing the 90s cruise, but and again, don't get me wrong, we're all getting older, so not busting anybody's chops, but 70s, I would be all about a 70s cruise if they did a 70s cruise.
So let me just say, this year I did the back-to-back.
Oh, did you?
Did
Okay.
Star Trek to the 80s.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And I was so excited because I love the 80s. Like, I was
Yeah.
born in 76. All my music and all that, my aunts and all that, we all danced to the 80s stuff. Like, I loved it. And I was so excited for this 80s cruise. And it was the worst cruise I have ever been on. I got assaulted by one of the actors or the musicians.
Wow.
Oh.
The first night and we were all excited because we got off the boat, we got back on the boat, and the first night we were there, and we're in the little forward on deck 5, the little theater, and we were dancing, we were having a good time, and this guy, I'm not gonna go over the whole story, but basically my drink spilled on him on accident after he was being an asshole for a while. It was an accident, and he comes up in Bryce's face and said, "Do you know who I am?" And we're like, "No, we have absolutely no idea who you are. So that's not gonna work." And he was just, him and his girlfriend or wife, whoever she was, they were just the worst. And she threatened to kick my ass, and we ended up in the bathroom. It was a whole thing. So I had to call security. It was a mess. But let me just say, if you go on a Star Trek cruise, the type of people that take a Star Trek cruise are not the type of people that take an 80s cruise. And the 80s cruise people peaked in high school, I guess you could say. Like, that's all they got. Gotcha. And they're not a happy bunch, and they're drunk as all get out, and rowdy and rude. And I saw Bill Cosby as my wingman t-shirts. I saw red hats. I saw thing, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is not the boat for me." It was like, I started looking up flights from Puerto Rico, which was our second port of call, to get off that boat in the middle. I was ready to go. I was like, I can't be around these people. It was not a good time.
This episode will not be used by ECP to promote the 80s cruise.
Sorry. It was not ECP's fault who gets on their boat, you know?
Sure,
like,
right.
ECP is amazing. Like, the ladies that I was talking to at the desk, everybody was so great. Like, everyone that worked for ECP and worked for Royal Caribbean was great. It was this guy and his wife that was just nuts. And apparently he's like a one-hit wonder from England, and he had one hit. And I'm like, I had to look him up because I was like, I was telling the girl at security, and I'm like, I don't know who he was. He kept trying to ask me if I knew who he was, but I didn't know who he was. So she hands me the flyer with all the talent on it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the guy. And I'm like, I don't even know his name, so I Googled him, and I'm like, oh.
Interesting.
Well,
thank you very much for sharing on that, and that's good to know, because I had wondered about that, but I think I will save that for a later time.
Whole different group of folks. It's a whole different group of folks. It really is.
That makes sense. Well, kind of veering back to Star Trek, which we all know and love, Cristie, one of the hardest questions that we ask at this particular moment, and it could totally change any given day that we speak to you. Do you have a favorite episode or movie from Star Trek?
And I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I like the newer movies with
J.J. Abrams and Chris Pine?
The J.J. Abrams. I went to the theater. I was so excited that they revived this franchise that I didn't care who did it, how they did it. I was just excited. And then they put Beastie Boys in it, I was like, come on. Like, the music was great. I mean, I loved it. And, what's his name? He played RoboCop, Billy Butcher.
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban as Bones. I mean, I was dying. Because growing up with Trek, we saw them as captains. We saw them older in their positions. We didn't see them come up through the academy. We didn't see how Spock met Kirk, how Kirk met Doc. You know, we don't know any of these things. So to see that unfold through J.J. Abrams' eyes I thought it was amazing. And it's not canon, and it wasn't this, and it wasn't that. I don't care. It was fun. It was. Yeah. I still watch
canon is whatever we accept.
I still watch him. I love him. I was crying in the theater when I'm laughing and crying as Bones is talking about, you know, all these ailments he's gonna get, and just shut up, take it. You know, you'll be fine. You know,
right?
Yeah. It was amazing. I loved him. Before then, I mean, of course, I watched. I mean, I didn't see the Picard movie. It was a Picard movie, right?
No.
Or something between. Was it between Picard and
Section 31?
Maybe that, yeah, Section 31.
Yeah, okay, with Giorgio.
Everyone was giving that a lot of hate too. And I was like, I hadn't finished Discovery yet, so I wanted to finish Discovery and then do Section 31. And then everyone started giving it a lot of, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna watch it yet. Let me finish, then, you know, I'll get into it. So I'll have to watch it before the next boat. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth watching at least
absolutely.
Once, you know, like, yeah, it's different though. I mean, it definitely has a different vibe, but it's something, you know.
I heard the costumes were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. And new aliens that we aren't introduced to before, like those little microscopic ones. That, you know, that.
Not the nanites, but something similar to that. Yeah.
I forget. Yeah, what they're.
Yeah. Spoilers. Not trying to give it, but yeah.
Oops. Yeah. So the all of the reboots. Do you have a favorite of the three Kelvin verse?
Oh, definitely the first one.
The first one. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just the way that they bring everyone together, I was just, it was so great. It was
a fun one, and I can really easily rewatch that one. Let's well.
Yeah. I love that they play on the boat.
Star Trek, but yeah.
On the TV, yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool. How about a Star Trek invention that you wish we had right now?
Transporter.
Okay.
How nice would that be? No traffic, no emissions. Just, I want to go here. Boop, and you're there. Hopefully all your insides are still there, but you know, you're there.
You know, you hope.
You never know when you're coming out missing something, but you know.
Yeah, No, ever since that episode where Pulaski got de-aged in it, I would totally be like, you're going to use yesterday's DNA pattern, right? Like,
yeah. Right. Well, and we've had some guests that bring up like medical devices, which totally all for as well. There's no right or wrong answer of it. But I have been contemplating more and more that the transporter can be used as a medical device if used. Just to your point, Trekker, you know, the Pulaski de-aging. I mean, why aren't we? Let me rephrase that. Why aren't we? Because for one, transporters aren't created as of yet.
Oh, come on!
I know, right? See, I'm already part of the Star Trek universe in my new. But why wasn't that? I guess why wasn't that utilized more often?
Seriously, like brilliant medical like discovery. Hey, we can do this, and then you never hear from it again.
For the point of, I mean, again, that would be spoilers. Never mind, Chris. You got to watch season 2 or season 3 of Picard. Yes, because you know exactly where I was coming from, Trekker, on that portion. So,
Cristie, I will spoil one little part of it that really bothers me about Picard season 3. Apparently, the transporter has generic human DNA on file, and when you go through it, it'll just substitute some of your DNA with generic like DNA. And I'm like, if that was the case, nobody would come out right. We would all like nobody would come out right if we're just swapping shit out. Like,
is that
we
how
just
they
wouldn't.
make a basic bitch?
Basically.
Yeah.
They make a
Right.
basic
Right.
bitch
That's
problem
yes.
because they do it. Yeah.
That's how a basic bitch is formed. That's the lifestyle.
That's right.
Of the, yeah.
That's hilarious. That's
But like,
funny as all get out.
I was watching Project Hail Mary while I was making
Mhm.
dinner last night,
Good
and it was so
movie
funny
or
because
book.
I
And-
heard I'm sitting there, I'm slicing potatoes, and I hear shields up, and the computer comes on and goes, we don't have that technology. I'm like, see? It's like, how often do you think about stuff like that when you're driving and stuff like that? You know, it's like, why don't we have a bubble of protection around our vehicles
Shields.
at all times?
Right.
Like, shields up! Like, how fun would that be? If
Absolutely.
we had that technology?
I would
Well-
even like a belt that's like a personal shield. Like here's my bubble.
Oh, basic
Yeah.
bitch coming. Boop, boop, boop.
Right? That's hilarious. That's funny as all get out. Cristie, is there a moment that comes to the top of your mind that within Star Trek that just kind of blew you out of the water, that made you kind of reevaluate either the scene or something taking place actually in your real life?
I don't know. I don't want to say one particular thing,
Mhm.
but the message of Trek being inclusive and
Mhm.
kind and
Mhm.
exploratory and inquisitive, where those things are not looked down upon. They're encouraged. And, you know, we need more of that in this world.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
So, kind of, what's one of the first episodes that come to mind when I say an inclusive episode or one that demonstrates inclusivity?
The initial one with Kirk, where he's screaming at the crew that
No room for bigotry.
there's no
on the
room for
bridge.
bigotry on his bridge. GTFO. Like that
Mhm.
right there. He was the captain, and he
Mhm.
told you that's not happening here. And
Mhm.
in a time when that happened all the time,
Yeah.
you know, like we have to think that was in the 60s, you know, the 70s. That didn't happen. You didn't, you know, the things that they showed on that original series didn't
Mhm.
happen back then. And we saw it and we took it as norm because we didn't know. We were younger. And then we
Right.
carried that on, you know, and I think we need more of that. We need more examples of that kind of inclusivity and kindness and appreciation in everything that we do.
Mhm.
IDIC,
Piggybacking-
my
oh, yeah.
friends.
Huh? Yes.
I said IDIC, my friends. I mean,
Infinite diversity and
Absolutely.
infinite combinations.
Yes.
Absolutely. In that vein, then, what new kind of Star Trek would you like to see come out?
So I'm Polly, and that really wasn't a thing years ago,
Uh-huh.
right? And then Dr. Phlox came on, and he, you know,
Mhm.
he blew that door open for all of us, you know, and he answered a lot of questions about that kind of lifestyle, and I think that we need more of that. We need more in the new what was it, Discovery? I'm getting my shows confused. But the whole no gender, no this, no
Oh
that,
yeah, with
you know,
Discovery, with
it
Gray.
doesn't matter. Love is love.
Mm.
Doesn't matter. You know, and I think we need more of that. We need more people that mind their business.
Just let people live and
Just
live.
let people be
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
If I don't eat chocolate because I have a thing against chocolate or an allergy or whatever, like I just did like the way it looked to me one day, and I'm off chocolate. I'm not gonna sit there and look at somebody and go, "Oh, you can't eat that."
I hate to play the devil's advocate, Cristie, but I have to unfortunately pop this little bubble. A television show would be very boring if everybody was just minding their own business.
And you know what? It's so funny. I'm an investigator. I'm a PI. That's what I do.
Okay.
If everybody minded their beeswax, I'd have a lot more difficulty doing what I do.
Yes. Yes. I can only imagine social media and the internet, how that has been advantageous for your job. Cristie, kind of jumping back into, you know, what kind of show you would like with Star Trek. Would you like, you know, as they're looking to build, you know, and create more, hopefully, more Star Trek shows, do you want them to stay kind of in post-burn, or would you like them to be pre-burn either, you know, from the time of Archer on?
Yeah, what
I
time
kind
era?
of think they need to explore the area from Archer to the burn.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be a good area because there's not a whole lot in that time frame.
Right.
And there's so many things they could have done, you know?
Sure.
Between Archer and the burn?
Mm-hmm. And was
Yeah.
that? How many
Well,
years
because we
was that?
stopped. I think we stopped
Isn't
about
that most of Star
2400s
Trek?
or so. So I think the end of Picard, because again, we got Archer that's in the and
Like
forgive me,
Archer to Enterprise, or like TNG to like the future part of Discovery?
Says there's about like 900 years between when Enterprise happened and the burn started.
Okay,
Right.
yeah. So like right up before, or like right smack in the middle?
Yeah, and I also really like where Starfleet Academy is going. I
Yeah.
was really getting into that, like the teachers and how they, where they get all the kids from and stuff like that. Like that was just their backstories was great. I was really getting into it. So they should do more of
Hopefully they'll
that.
bring it back. Hopefully they'll bring it back.
Yeah.
One of the things we like to explore with fans is how being a fan kind of shapes your perspective in life. We call it the Federation effect. So how would you say Star Trek being a fan has impacted the way your viewpoint, like when you go out into the world?
So Trek, I don't want to get too long-winded with this, but Trek started when I was a kid with my dad, and he got me into it. And the whole girls can't do science thing, and girls can't be cops, and girls can't do this, and girls can't work on cars, and blah, 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 blah. My dad he had 3 daughters, and he was like, no, I'm going to teach my girls that they can do anything a man can do, because he didn't want us to marry these guys that were useless. He wanted us to be able to be self-sufficient, that we didn't have to rely on somebody to do something for us. So he taught us all how to work on cars, how to fix a dishwasher, how to, do all the things that, you need to do to be self-sufficient in this world. And he loved Star Trek. He loved the fantasy of it. He loved the space, the exploration, all of that, because my dad was always real inquisitive. So not having anybody else that I knew in that world, none of my friends in school watched Star Trek. I was a nerd, the whole thing. The one person, oddly enough, that kind of took pity on me was my bus driver.
Okay.
She was a Trekkie, and she wore a pin, and I didn't realize it because I never got to see that side of her because I got on the bus on this side, right? Well, after Christmas one year, my dad had got me one of the next gen buttons, and I wore it to school proud coming back from Christmas break.
Yeah.
And she saw it, and she goes, are you a Star Trek fan? And I was like, yeah, but like let's keep this on the low because I'm not trying to get my ass beat after school, right?
Yeah.
So a couple weeks later, she told me, ask your mom and dad if you can come with me because they're doing a Star Trek convention at the university. And this was back before conventions were a thing. It was in a library on campus. All the cast was there. Everybody from Next Gen was there. And they were just on this little risen stage, and they were all sitting there, and they talked and they spoke about the show, and they had questions for the face. It wasn't like conventions now where it's tons of stuff everywhere and people are buying stuff. It was one night, a couple of hours, and you got to meet everyone, and part of your entrance to the convention was that you got a cast photo and you got to go through the line and everyone got to sign it. That was your thing. You didn't pay for pictures back then, all that kind of stuff. So that, her inviting me and going to that and seeing all the other people that liked this show that I liked, that my dad liked, that, because this is pre-internet, this was early 90s. Yeah. So it was impressive to me that show reached that many different people, because at the convention there were kids my age, and I was like 9 or 10, 12 maybe, and there were older people in their 70s, there were people in their 60s, all different people, and it just amazed me that all of these people were here for the same thing, because we all liked this one TV show, but that she included me, and that I carry that into my life now, because when I see people that look like they're out of place or they're shy or they're withdrawn, I approach them and I'm like, hey, come on, let's do this, let's have fun. And because I don't want anybody to feel that they're not welcome, that they don't, they're not included, they're not You know, I don't want anybody to feel like that when I'm in a room, you know, and I see someone like that, I'm like, go, come on, you're now my new best friend. We're doing this. So that to me is what Trek is.
Yeah.
Kirk and Picard didn't kick anybody off their ship.
Right.
They never said, oh, you're a refugee from what planet? Sorry, we'll just go leave some supplies and we'll be back later. Like, we'll let somebody know you need help. No, get on the ship, get on the boat. This is what we're doing. And I think that message needs to be out there more. I think we need more people that want to include other people that may not look like them, may not act like them, may not talk like them. We all have that little thing inside of us that says you're not good enough. You know, everyone has that. And the more times you're in situations like that where it's screaming in your head, the less you're going to go out and do something with it, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
you're not going to that show, you're not going to that event because you're not welcome. Nobody wants to be your friend. Nobody wants to be like that. You know, if we see somebody like that, we should all, hey, come on, like, come have a drink with me, come sit down, come sit with us.
Right.
You know, we all need that new friend in our lives at different times.
A lot of times people are waiting for someone to just say hello. And if you have the slightest bit of courage so that you could do it first, it goes a long way, because a lot of people are just like waiting for that. And, you know, and I myself have been waiting for that, for other people to say hello for a while. And sometimes I just very autistically just jump forward with it, as some people on the cruise might have seen. But there's moments when I can do it and there's moments when I can't. So I always appreciate it when people also, you know, will reach out and say hello, especially when I'm kind of like acting in my demure era, you know.
Yeah, we all have those moments where we don't feel like we belong, no matter where we're at. And when somebody walks up to you and says, oh, hey, nice dress, or oh, hey, nice glasses, or oh, hey, you're into this and you're into something, just make some kind of contact with you. You feel so much better, so much more at ease. And I think that if we, as a society, did that more, put our phones down and actually looked at people in the eye and, you know, spoke to them, we might be a little bit happier. I don't know.
I might look close to your eyes, but I might be looking in your eyebrows, because
You're one of those. I got you.
Yeah. That's how I do my eye. Yeah, because I know it is polite to do eye contact.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard though. It's really hard. That's why I like wearing glasses, because people
Yes.
they can't really tell. Like, if they're wearing sunglasses or something, like, yeah, I'm technically talking to you, but I can't make eye contact with you because and it's not something's wrong with you. It's something's wrong with me.
Yes.
Something's wrong with
Not
me.
wrong.
It's
just
my
how
hair is
we're
wrong.
wired.
My this is wrong.
It's just how it's wired.
Right.
It's not wrong. It's just wired.
It's not you, it's me. But yes, exactly. I think about that. Like, I don't actually need to wear glasses, but if I'm out in public or interacting with folks as like part of my job, I have my glasses on. Otherwise, I may squint just as I'm thinking. Yeah. And I don't want anybody to think I'm mean mugging them. So it kind of, you know, I'm just blind. That's all it is. So.
No, I have RBF, and I get told all the time, oh, you should smile more. You'd be prettier.
No,
which
that's
is
funny.
why I really love 7 of 9, because if she was ever told by anybody that she would be so much prettier, she would ruin them.
Yes. That would have been a very interesting episode to observe if she would have, if somebody would have said something
to her.
Well,
who
see, and
would
I
it have
watched
been?
that show late. Like, I think I finished that show 2 years ago.
Oh,
so I didn't watch it when it first came out.
Okay.
You know, I didn't like Janeway. Don't hate me. I didn't. When that first year, I was like,
are you not a coffee drinker?
No, well, yeah, no. A, I don't drink coffee, and B,
I wondered.
That hair. I couldn't get past the cough, and it was so perfect. I'm like, there is no way she's a captain. She's going for her coffee like this. Is not a hair out of place. Come on. I didn't believe it. So I was like busy all that time in that time of my life. But when I went back and rewatched it after I started going on the cruise, and I'm watching it, and I'm just like, I'm just waiting. I was like, oh, somebody's gonna say something completely inappropriate to her, and she's gonna end them. I waited the whole season, and never did. And I was so upset.
Who would you have expected it from if somebody had said something?
Oh man. Let me see. That was. I'm trying to think who's on the boat. Probably be to pick Kim.
No, I meant
Pip Kim?
character on the show. Wait,
Damn
what?
you, Pip Kim.
Oh, Kim. Oh my goodness.
I mean, because he was the youngest, and I would think that he was the youngest on the crew, and he'd probably be the one to say some dumb shit like that.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
I was actually thinking Picardo, because if there was a person or individual on that cruise that has less couth and tact, then it would be. And he grew.
That's who
Don't
I
get me
thought.
wrong, when we were talking about him earlier. He
You
grew
say
a
that.
hell of a lot, but
You say that, and I honestly think maybe in one of the episodes he did make a comment about that after she had left sickbay, and now I have to go look that up because I want to say like, oh, good thing she didn't hear that. Oh man, somebody out there will know and will tell y'all.
Right,
and
right.
y'all have to tell me
Yeah.
what season
Please
and
comment
episode
on
it
our
was.
on the
Yeah.
cast on the
Especially
comment
if we got
section.
this wrong.
Oh, that's funny. Well, thank you, Cristie. And at this time, we are going to do our rapid fire. Pew, 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 phaser questions. So these are just kind of this or that type of thing. Just kind of some of the goofy things that have happened over Star Trek. So, to start us off, would you rather get your consciousness swapped with a Pac-Led or a Horta?
I don't know what either of those are.
The Pac-Led in Next Generation, where they kidnapped Geordi, Aya Smart. So they look like potatoes. And then the Horta was
We
the,
look for
and
things.
forgive me, I think it was a silicone monster, where Spock did the mind meld, where that was in TOS.
How do you spell that? Oh, there it is.
So if you're swapping
Oh,
consciousness,
yeah.
you're going into their body?
Yeah, that's how I'm playing this one. Yeah, would you rather be a Pac-Led or would you rather be a?
Do you think if you
it's not
swapped with a
bipedal.
Pac-Lid, if you swapped with a Pac-Lid, would your intellectual abilities change?
You'd.
Well, because I'm reading this and it says that the Horta was eventually revealed to be a mom protecting her eggs, which is why she was so vicious.
Yeah, she was eating that.
So probably that instead of a red
The
hat.
Pac-Lid. Okay.
Are you using Cliff's Notes to like prove your Star Trek fandom here?
No, I was Googling it because I didn't know what it was.
That's funny. I mean, we all use it because how many times have we come up and asking?
There's a lot of times
like,
I'm like, wait, which one was that? Yeah,
that's right. Leverage the technology that we have at our fingertip. That's like having an L card right in our hand. So a tablet. So, who do you think is a better buddy/romantic couple in your opinion? T'Pol and Trip or Worf and Deanna Troi?
T'Pol and Trip.
Okay.
Would you rather be a hologram with a mobile emitter like the Doctor, or a Soong-type android like Data?
Hologram.
Okay.
To end this program immediately.
Okay.
Computer end program. How many times I pulled into my driveway and I said that?
Yep.
Computer end program. I'm done.
Oh
I
my
can't do this anymore.
Yep. All right. I like that. If you were assigned to a starship, would you rather be flying the ship at the helm, being fixing something in a Jeffries tube in engineering, or performing surgery in medical bay?
Flying.
All right.
Same, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I think. I mean, engineering's fascinating as well, and then of course.
Fascinating, but I'm not crawling in Jeffries tubes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, those look long.
And you don't know what's living in there. There are things in there.
Right. Would you rather tangle with a Gorn or with a Tholian?
It's a Tholian.
So I think, what was it? Was it
the Tholian's web? They kind of look like
Tholian's
crabs.
web, but I think that in Discovery was the first time that we actually saw what a Tholian looked like.
Oh no, Enterprise.
Oh, was it
They had
Enterprise?
one
Okay, sorry, my
Oh,
bad.
there's
Yeah,
spiders.
I was thinking that. Yeah, so
They're spider-like, so no, I don't want to do that.
okay, I got that.
Definitely, I think a Gorn over a spider any day.
Gotcha.
Although they did make the Gorn like vicious.
Yeah,
I was gonna
even
say,
more
like,
so.
Dang.
the Gorn are kind of freaky at this point,
Yeah.
like the aliens from
they're
Alien.
smart.
Right. If you were a Trill, would you rather have a symbiote or not have a symbiote?
And
Yeah.
just be in that juice, or that like under that cave of water.
That cave with the water. Yep.
No.
Which one? What'd you
No,
say?
I definitely want a symbiote. I mean,
Okay.
the years of knowledge that you will
Mhm.
gather from those symbiotes is super cool.
Okay.
I agree with that. I mean, just to be able to. I mean, I
To
don't know about you
things
guys.
about people that you don't know.
That's right. That's right.
Because
I
you
like
get
to
their
live
memories, you
vicariously
get
and
their
ask
feelings, their
questions.
experiences.
Yes.
Is there any benefit to them when they're in the liquid in the cave, just sitting around waiting?
I think they're just chilling, waiting for a host, right? Or are
Okay.
they like in some?
Maybe some choose not to be hosted. I don't know.
That
I
could
don't
be. But I think if I recall properly, when Jadzia was there, that it's almost like the electrical tendrils, excuse me, are their way of being able to communicate.
Ah.
Okay, Star Trek
Mhm.
After Dark. Could you imagine seeing two symbionts getting it on and breeding? I mean, is that going to be
I've
like
seen some
Janeway
tentacle
and
stuff.
Paris's baby? Yeah, right.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ah.
Goodness. Would you rather play in the Q continuum or be in the Prophets, whatever, with the Prophets?
Q continuum.
Okay.
Way more fun.
I was just gonna say, yeah, the Prophets. There's no linear. I mean, there's no linear time necessarily with the Q.
Follow-up question. So we've seen that when Voyager went into the Q continuum, it looked like Civil War era. What would it look like to you when you're in the Q continuum?
Oh my gosh. I think my Q continuum would be just like the biggest rave.
Okay.
I'm old, but I can still rave. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm down. Let's do it.
That's awesome.
That's the best time, right?
Right.
You said you live in Austin?
Yeah. We do keep it weird.
That's funny. Would you rather, given the opportunity, would you rather try Klingon blood wine or Ractogeno?
Ractogeno.
Okay. All right. Spiked a little bit with maybe some Bailey's
wine.
or yeah, right. Blood wine. Yeah, there you go. Best of both worlds, right there.
Uh-huh.
So, would you rather learn a language Hoshisato and Uhura's way, or use the universal translator regularly?
No, I'd rather learn it Uhura's way. Just
Okay.
by hearing, just
Cool. I almost wonder with the universal translator. I mean, even just now with the translation, from different cultures that we have here, there are, there is the reason the saying is lost in translation. So I wonder how much it doesn't actually come across. So,
but can we just talk about the fact that we've never actually seen the universal translator? Like, is it a
it's
chip
an implant,
that's inside
isn't it? I thought it
them?
was an implant.
I think it is.
Be. It has to be.
Because do you remember? Well, and again, I know Deep Space Nine's not your favorite, but there's an episode of Deep Space Nine. I'm not trying to yuck your yum.
No. It's in Deep Space Nine. I'll go watch it again. I will.
Okay.
I will. Yeah.
But there's an episode called Little Green Men when, in essence, it turns out Odo, Quark-Rom, and Nog go back to Roswell. They're the Roswell aliens and stuff.
Nice.
And when Rom is trying to fix the universal translator, it's in the right of Nog's ear.
Perfect. Okay, so we have had it. Okay, neat.
Well, and I think it's that, but I also think like in maybe TNG time, I think it was adapted and built into the universal translator because something happened at one point in time. Well, and it's not, and I'm not talking, Darmok and Jalad or Darmok, Darmok, but there was something where the universal translator went kaput. And they were trying to figure out the interactions there.
I think in TNG it was in the pin.
Yeah,
It
the
was-
pin. Yeah, the
and he kept
communicator.
hitting it. Go, my universal translator's off, and he kept hitting it like he was trying to fix it. And I'm like, yeah, it's a guy thing. You're gonna just keep hitting it till it works.
I
Like,
always
that's
thought it would
that's
make more
universal, and
sense.
that apparently is infinite because that's
I definitely
never
thought
going
it would make more sense if it was like an implant or something, so that it could help change the lips and your own pronunciation off, like so that you would actually speak the language that they're instead of just,
Oh.
that's kind of how I interpreted it when they did it. I was like, oh, it's making them speak the language that's, so they hear it right. But that one's fascinating. Nobody said that one yet.
No one said that one yet.
And you know what? That's a pretty good one, because I would love to be able to go places and just be fluent.
Well,
Oh.
and
Or
I
Just
trick
think
even
people into
to the
thinking I'm
nail
fluent.
salon.
I think it's coming in most of the phones nowadays. I just, got a new phone and it pops up, and again, it's the AI translator, so it captures that. So I mean,
I
just
have the new Meta glasses
okay.
that have the translator. I mean, it's in the app, but like you
Oh,
can
so you already
someone
have it.
talks
That's
into
why
it,
we don't.
you can hear
Right.
it in the stem.
Nice.
Oh, interesting. Would you rather explore a nebula or be like excuse me, I can't think of his name right now, Scotty, when he was around the Dyson sphere?
Oh.
I don't know. Nebula's bigger. Like there's more in it. Like the Dyson sphere. I don't know. It didn't seem as interesting as like a whole.
They found one ship on it and then went away.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Imagine that would be huge though. Like that's a Dyson sphere is ginormous.
Well, it has to go around a sun,
An
right?
entire
Stone,
sun, a sphere. That would be huge. And the fact that they really only spent like 45 minutes
Exploring that concept.
Yeah. I was like, man, they could have done a lot more on the Dyson. There's had to have been other stuff there. Like, had to have been.
Yeah.
That's
Cristie, who do you think is, and of course the term evil is subjective, but Kai Wynn or Goldie Cott?
more evil.
More evil, yes.
Kelvin.
Kai Wynn, yeah. When that bitch comes on the screen, and I love Louise Fletcher, don't get me wrong, but the first time when she comes about the school kids, it's just like my family, we watch Rudolph every year and stuff like that, and the joke is that, Cupid's Comet's a dick or something like that. Oh, that's not exactly, but he's a jerk is I think what the actual, because he won't let Rudolph play in any of the reindeer games, and every time Kai Wynn comes on that first time, I'm like, that bitch. And because I know exactly what's going to happen the subsequent 6 seasons every time she comes on that screen. So
I feel like Kai Wynn is equivalent to organized religion.
Okay.
And Val Ducat is more like a regime. Like
okay.
He's expected. He knows he's not nice, and he embraces it, and he lets everybody know I'm not nice.
Right.
She tries to hide it in a cloak of, goodness. And
the wolf in sheep's clothes.
She's deceitful about it. And that to me is what gets me, is that don't sit there and pretend that you're holier than thou and you have all this and you love your prophets and this and that, but then you're going to go over here and do that? So
yeah, right. Would you
I saw Flowers in the Attic.
Yes.
Did y'all see Flowers in the Attic?
No.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh,
like I said, Louis. Oh, it's.
I forgot about that one.
The minute I saw it, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't eat those cookies!
Yeah, right. Don't. And again, Louise Fletcher,
She's
rest
amazing.
her soul. She was phenomenal at being horrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
because she was like this grandmother figure, and everyone thought of her as this motherly person, this holy person, and she's just all these things. And then you slowly, they start peeling back how she really is, and you're just like, oh, okay,
yeah.
That's who we're playing with now.
Right. Would you rather be on the original 1701, or would you rather play on the fat one, as they call it in Picard? You haven't got to that, sorry, spoiler. But would you rather be on D with Picard's crew? I know, right?
The costumes are better on the original.
Okay.
If we're my go-go boots.
Right.
But the technology I think would be better on Picard's boat.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome.
They could cycle through the costume, like those outfits. They need to have some of those outfits cycle back through, like
Yeah.
because that happens in our history all the time. People have like a 70s night and 80s night. Well, they could do that on, we're going through a little, era, TOS era in our clothing.
And I kind of feel like in Starfleet Academy they tried to do that with some of the guys' tunics. Like they
Sure.
made them very TOS like,
Mhm.
but they were for the guys, which was great. It was like you're literally wearing your go-go dress, but you got trousers on. So,
Mhm.
I can just picture them getting ready in the morning and they put the jacket on first, and they're just like, ooh, got
That's
I
hilarious.
just see them hanging out with their chicken legs at the bottom, nothing,
Right. Oh goodness. Our last and most important question, Miss Cristie.
Most important.
No pressure.
Sorry. Would you consider yourself a Trekker or a Trekkie?
I hate that. I'll tell you why. Because it tries to divide people that love this for what it is, face value, and for those that want to pick it apart and almost build a wall between them as an elitist and I've been watching this and I'm back to this and this is not the right ship and did it. I actually got scolded on one of the boats.
Okay.
Because I called myself a Trekkie.
Okay.
And this guy got in my face and he was like, don't you, he goes, oh, so you're not a Trekker? And I'm like, I didn't know there was a difference. I had to Google this. And apparently it's like a big thing where there's like, if you're either this or you're that. And I'm like, well, I'm OG. Like I'm a Trekkie.
Right.
That's
we don't really have a big thing
kid.
about it here. In this space, we really don't. We just grew up with both of those terms. And so all of our life, it's just been this or that. So yeah.
I was told, and if you do a Google search, this versus that, apparently a Trekker is somebody that is more focused on the science side of it, and they are more into the detail of it and the types of ships and that kind of thing. Whereas a Trekkie is more lackadaisical with their entertainment, and it's a fun thing, and it's not something very serious. I'm not a very serious person, so yeah, I'm a Trekkie all day long.
I'm going to take this opportunity then to reclaim the word Trekker because I think it's more like the type of fan that can watch the show, enjoy it. They can have conversations about it, the what ifs, the this or that, but not get into real arguments about it because we know it's entertainment, it's fun.
Right. So that would be my. According to their rules, you'd be a Trekkie. You're not a Trekker. They are very serious about their Trek.
So what I'm saying is we reclaim terminologies, and I am saying that Trekker for now on is defined as good.
Yeah, and the funny thing, Cristie, how it kind of just started, like I said, we were just chatting and stuff like that, and Trekker and I and it just sounded funny, and so, but yeah, I just did a Google search because again, for me growing up, I primarily heard the word, the term Trekkie, and I'd heard Trekker, in the past and stuff like that. But again, we're all, especially on this, podcast, we're massive nerd fans of Star Trek is really what it boils down to. But yeah, I just did a Google search and it's fascinating. It's the more mature, the more studious is the word that is used here for Star Trek. But again, I think Trekker
like
is
more of those ships and stuff, and I don't.
It's trying to get away from the obsessive culture because again, don't get me wrong, we're all old enough, and I'm sure that we've heard the term Trekkie, where they're trapped in their parents' basement, they don't ever see the sun and stuff like that. So and again, not speaking for anybody watching this or anybody, but I think the concept of Trekker was trying to get away from
I'll be right
the
down, good
basement
parents.
dwellers.
No. I'm almost done.
Not now, Mom.
Maybe
You're
Yeah,
embarrassing me.
Mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Give me
funny.
5 minutes.
Yeah. All right.
We
So
are real friends.
that's funny. But yeah, so like I said, it's kind of our play on it. But yeah, fascinating. Like I said, I love these things. Well, I love the internet. I mean, because knowledge at the fingertips. But I love these conversations because it invokes contemplation and talking about stuff like this. So, but you said that you would identify more of as the Trekkie verbiage or nomenclature. So you're gonna get one someday. Oh, you do have one. You have 2 actually right now of 2 Trekkers. So we'll go back and we'll discuss and
Okay.
watch again.
Mhm,
So, but
mhm, mhm. I
well,
wasn't keeping a tally, and I should
I
have.
know.
Dang it.
I just know that.
Whoops.
Right. No, you're all right. It's just jokey because engage with Trekker and Trekkies. So, but anyway, Cristie, we really appreciate you being on the show today.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to share or any parting words for our audience? Anybody you may meet on the cruise that you have not already? Kind of.
Y'all. I mean, next year on the boat, we're windjamming it up like something.
Yeah, absolutely. We will all, like I said,
So you
planning
guys-
on getting everybody together.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't. I only hang out with my weird folks, so
Right. Yeah, no.
I'm sure I
That's
will
one,
see
like I
y'all.
said, as I've stated on before, that's one of the reasons that we both do this is because not specific to just the cruise. So if you're interested, again, please figure out a way to join us, that kind of stuff. But it's just opening up the community, opening up,
Yep.
so that we, feel more comfortable talking to everyone and such like that. And because again,
We're
let's
a
be
strange
realistic.
crew, and we
Yeah,
like
we're
growing.
all right,
Yeah,
exactly. We're all strange and we all have different, things
Mhm.
that go on, but we are all part of that Star Trek community. So again, Cristie, thank you very, very much for joining us, and
Yeah.
thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.
Engage.